There's an ethics revolution going on among many millennials. There's another reason for it, aside from technology, and it's the fact that they're a very highly nurtured generation. My grown-up children, aged 30 to 24, I had to think then, are millennials. They're in the upper part of the millennial generation. And I know from my friend circle, from my international contacts and the work I do around the world, this is a generation that has been relatively highly protected and highly nurtured for good reason. Some would say they've not only been well nurtured, they've been a little too well nurtured or hyper nurtured. In a number of studies we've looked at of CEOs in Europe, when asked about millennials, some of the responses are, I find them a little emotionally brittle, in need of constant encouragement, not very good at criticism. I find them a little self-occupied, not interested in a multi-generational enterprise. They just want to hang out with other people like them and have some fun with their friends. This is an interesting one. Disregarding of authority figures while expecting much from authority figures. I can tell you more than a few CEOs have said to me, I find millennials expect me to be like mum and dad, a quiet liberal coach in the corner encouraging them on, but never to be the boss. And some say unwilling to commit. That millennials seem like people who want to maximize their opportunities within an enterprise as quickly as they can and then jump ship and move on. Now, how much of that is true, I can't say, but these are the perceptions. And because they are a very well-nurtured generation, this group puts a high premium on trust. They believe that if a person is willing to work with some accountability and transparency, they should be allowed to get on with the job. So millennials have largely been behind what we call the trust economy. Has anybody here ever bought anything on eBay? Anything? I once bought a car on eBay, which was a really cool experience. It was a BMW, by the way. It was an old BMW, but it was a really nice car, because German cars are nice cars. Agreed? Okay, fine. I think they are. eBay was a great example of person-to-person retail. The same person-to-person mentality spread to micro-enterprise lending like Kiva.org. It then spread to venture capitalism in the form of what we have today, crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. And all of these, my friends, are based on one currency. It's not the euro, it's not the pound. Exactly, my friend, thank you. It's based on trust. This generation places a high premium on trust, which means that in the workspace, they're quite sensitive to privacy. I know from talking to many leaders, that surprises people because we think of the millennials as people who put anything online. Just anything. Here's me having breakfast. Up it goes on Instagram. There's a dog with a coat on. Up it goes on the Instagram. You know. But actually, they're very sensitive to privacy, particularly in the workspace. 75% of companies in the US today track individual emails from their workers, but 30% using deep packet encryption technology, the same technology the government uses to track terrorism, they track individual keystrokes of their employees. Now, in America, that may be necessary for legal reasons, but it doesn't say much for the level of trust between employer and employee. So we need to recognize their viral collectivism, but also appreciate their need for trust.